Hello, I'm Sophia Mavridis, a market analyst with Bell Direct, and joining us today is Bell Direct SMSF Expert Olivia Long. Olivia, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
As we enter into the new financial year, can you take us through the changes to super that are now in effect as of July 1st?
Okay, well, there's actually been a number of changes. So several key changes impact on a member's ability to contribute to super. And these changes actually create opportunities for all SMSF members to grow their retirement savings, but particularly for retired individuals over the age of 67 who were previously unable to contribute. So individuals up to the age of 75 will no longer have to meet a work test to make voluntary, non-deductible contributions. So currently, a member aged 67 to 74 can only make voluntary contributions to super if they have worked at least 40 hours over 30 consecutive days in the financial year, or if they meet the work test exemption. Now, this work test must be met prior to them contributing. So from 1 July now, this work test will only apply to a member who wants to claim a tax deduction on voluntary contributions made to super. So this means that the work test will no longer apply to any non-concessional contributions, spouse contributions, salary sacrifice arrangements, small business CGT contributions, personal injury or foreign fund transfers to the fund, or COVID-19 re-contributions. So that's great news. Another one is that individuals up to the age of 75 will have the ability to make large non-concessional contributions, so up to 3 years' worth in a single year. So where a member does make personal tax deductible contributions, they will be able to satisfy the work test now at any time in the financial year. So this means an individual can contribute before meeting the work test in the relevant financial year. So they also continue to have access to the one-off 12-month work test exemption, which allows individuals with a total super balance of less than $300,000 as at 30 June prior, that satisfied the work test in the prior financial year, to now contribute and claim a tax deduction for it to super.
Now, we understand super guarantee contributions are on the rise.
They certainly are, and previously the super guarantee rate was 10% of an individual's wage or salary. So from 1 July, this rate has now increased to 10.5% per annum, and it's going to continue to increase each year until it reaches 12% by the 1st of July 2025. Now, previously, an individual needed to earn at least $450 a month to be eligible to receive super guaranteed contributions from their employer. But from 1 July, this minimum threshold has now been removed. So this means that everyone, including casual or part-time employees that earn less than $450 per month, can now get some contributions to their super. The only exception for this would be employees under the age of 18, who generally need to work more than 30 hours a week to be eligible to receive super guaranteed contributions.
And we believe there's some good news for Australians when it comes to getting more money into your super.
Absolutely. So non-concessional contributions are contributions made with after-tax money. Now, previously, only members under the age of 67 on the 1st of July each financial year could access the bring forward rule. And that's where you can make up to 3 years' worth of non-concessional contributions in one go. Now, from 1 July, the cut-off age to access the bring forward rule will increase to 75. So that's great. And access to the bring forward rule will still depend, though, on a member's total super balance as at 30 June of the previous financial year and their available cap. So this means that anyone aged, say, 74 on the 1st of July 2022 with a total super balance of less than 1.48 million may be able to make a $330,000 non-concessional contribution to super. That's provided the contribution is made no later than 28 days after the month in which they turn 75.
Olivia, we hear that downsizer contributions are also set to change.
They are, and look, the downsizer contribution is a once-off contribution that people can make to super if they're selling the family home. So previously, an individual could only make a downsizer contribution if they were 65 or older at the time of making the contribution and subject to the other eligibility requirements. Now, from 1 July, the minimum age has reduced to 60, which is great news. So anyone selling their family home above the age of 60 can now get that money into super. So all the other eligibility rules around the downsizer contribution remain unchanged. So that is the maximum that can be contributed under this arrangement will be $300,000 per person or $600,000 per couple. But the best news is that the downsizer contributions are not restricted by a member's total super balance once the contributions are made.
And could you talk us through the First Home Super Saver Scheme?
Sure. So previously, the Super Saver Scheme allowed an individual to withdraw a maximum of $30,000 of voluntary contributions from their super fund to fund the deposit of a new home. So from the 1st of July 2022, the maximum amount that can now be withdrawn will increase to $50,000, meaning each eligible person will be able to withdraw an additional $20,000 to fund their new home purchase, which I think is great.
So Olivia, do you have any tips for retirees?
I do. So the good news is, to help manage the economic impact of COVID-19, the government has again in 22-23 reduced the minimum drawdown requirements by half, which is great news for everybody given the continued volatility in the market at present. So if we look at the transfer balance cap, this is the lifetime limit on the total amount of super that can be transferred into retirement phase income streams. So if a super fund member is going to withdraw more than the annual minimum payment in 2023 that they need to, they could consider accessing the extra amount as a lump sum withdrawal. So that's something to speak to your SMSF accountant about now.
And finally, is there anything else that people should be thinking of now that we've transitioned into a new financial year?
There is. With the increase in super guarantee from the 1st of July, anyone that has salary sacrifice arrangements in place will need to ensure that you don't breach your concessional contribution cap due to the additional contributions your employer is now set to make. So it's a good time now to review any salary sacrifice arrangements and get in place your new arrangements for 2022-23.
Olivia, thank you for your time today and for sharing your insights with us.
You are most welcome.
For more, head to Bell Direct's website.